Hey, hey, everybody. Come on, y'all. Come on, come on, come on. Come on in. I'm excited about our call today. I'm super excited about this topic. Y'all, every week I'm excited about the topic, right? But I try to do topics on the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show that are very, very relevant to our lives as leaders right now. Because really, I'm having conversations with you every single day. And so I'm so excited. If you're coming in, if you're in the chat, let me know who you are and where you are tuning in from, on what social media platform you're tuning in from. I'm excited to see you this week. We're going to have a good time as always. And so let me go ahead and just bring us in properly. As always, I am here to help you do what you love and love what you do. And today we're talking about a leader's guide to ultimate self care. And at the end, I'm going to give you at least 5 steps, 5 strategies that you can use to reclaim your day, right? And so this is not a topic that is so uncommon, right? Really, y'all, we are out here, we are literally suffering right now. Leaders, I'm having, coaching conversations with leaders every day, and we are struggling. We're struggling with the endless meetings. Like we're meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And I know it to be true myself, right? Because as the CEO of the Positive Psychology Coaching and Diversity Institute, I'm in meetings often as well. And I have to make a very conscious effort to not be in back to back to back to back meetings. But this is what's happening. And so I think that when we all went virtual in this world, we thought that we were going to lose a lot of productivity. But now it's so much work on us. Even if we were even in the actual workplace, we probably wouldn't be meeting as much as we are at the moment. And so what people are finding is that they don't really even have time to do the work that they're supposed to do because we're in so many meetings, right? Let me know where you are tuning in from and who you are. And so they're in so many meetings and they're so stressed out. Also, we're virtual. I know a lot of people are starting to get back to work right now. That might be good for you. That might be bad for you. Some people are excited to get back to work because the idea of sitting behind your desk every single day and going to meeting after meeting is terrifying. It's detrimental to your mental health, your emotional health, all of that, your physical health, right? When you're sitting in this chair all day. And so we are been going through a lot, right? We've been going through a lot. Hey, Gail, thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to see you here. So we've been going through so much because we are just stressed out. Y'all, we are stressed out. And so I wanted to actually begin to have this conversation, right? Because what good are you to anybody, in your organization, not to mention your family? What good are you to your family also when work stresses you completely out? I was talking to one of my clients, and she has a lot going on at work because work is super, super busy. Y'all, during this time, what I'm noticing, and with a lot of executives, they are working even more. Executives are already busy, we're already busy people, but now in a world that is so virtual and everything like that, we're even more busy. So she feels like she's super busy all the time, and she doesn't have a moment to herself, and she's starting to really take it out on family Nobody ever wants to do that, right? Nobody ever wants to take, your anger and frustration out on the people who you love most, like your spouse or your children. And so she's starting to, be in this space where she can't handle all of the pressure, right? She can't handle all of the pressure. And she was like, Kiki, what do you do when you feel like you have so much stuff going on at work, right? They need me at work, but my family also needs me over here. And that may be the issue that you have, right? That may be the issue that you have. And we're going to talk about some strategies. I was also talking to another leader who couldn't even find a day off, right? Like literally looking through the schedule, right? Looking through the schedule, boom, 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 to actually find a day off and can't find a day off. Well, here's newsflash, right? You're probably not going to have to be able to find a day off. You're going to absolutely have to take a day off, right? Like a lot of times when it comes to us being so stressed out and overworked, we have to make decisions, right? We have to make decisions that are going to affect the rest of our lives, right? That are going to affect the rest of our lives, our careers, and we got to make tough decisions. So I remember when I was working as a medical social worker, I was, well, working as a social worker. I had a job where I literally would go to work and I was so stressed out. I was a director. I was so stressed out with the organization. I would get up every single day and I would dread going to work because I knew there was going to be so much work to do. Right. And a lot of times when there's so much work to do, you can start to get anxiety, right? Like I started feeling more anxious, feeling like I couldn't sleep at night. Like I literally couldn't sleep at night. I was more anxious during the day. And it was super difficult for me because I'm like, here I am trying to serve the organization. Hey, Tawan, thank you so much for joining me. Um, I was here. I am this high level employee trying, right, trying to serve the organization to my best, but it was sucking everything away from me every single day. So I dreaded getting up to work so much so that I thought I had ulcers. Right? Like no lie. Like I thought I had ulcers because there was so much pain in my stomach. I was having a visceral physical reaction to going to work. And so when this happens to you, and if this happens to you, baby, you are not taking care of yourself. And you cannot be the best leader. Now I'm hoping I'm talking to somebody who is, I know if you're on here watching, chances are you're a professional and I consider you a leader in your organization. If you're not well, then you can't lead. I'm just saying. If you're not well, then you absolutely cannot lead. And you're not leading your best. Like even if you are trying to lead and you're not well, then what's going on? Right? But here's some excuses that I hear. Right? As a coach, here's some excuses that I hear. Well, I don't have the time. Woo wee. I don't have the time to take off. I don't have the time for self-care. I don't have the time for wellness. Well, let me tell you, you cannot afford not to have the time. That's an excuse that I used to tell myself all the time, though. Like, and I'm gonna be super transparent with you, right? I used to tell myself I didn't have the time all the time. I didn't have the time to take off. I didn't have the time for a vacation. I didn't have the time to take a nap. Y'all, I used to beat myself up when I had to take a nap because my body was so drained. I didn't have time to take a lunch break. I didn't have time to do all these things. And so what I would do is I would work throughout the day. Like my calendar would be so packed, right? So that time factor is key. But let me tell you this, you make the time. We make the time for whatever is important to us. So here's what you are saying. I'm just trying to regurgitate what I hear, right? I'm feeding back to you what I hear, right? As far as a coach. If you cannot make the time, what you are saying is that your well-being is not as important as that meeting that you got to go to. Woo! Dada Kiki. All right, I hope I'm talking to somebody. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So what you're saying is your well-being is not more important than that phone call that you need to take or that report that you need to do or anything. Insert anything in there. What you're saying is that your well-being is not as important. So what you're saying is that you are not as important as your job. Wow. I really hope, I hope y'all hear me, right? I absolutely hope you're hearing me because what you're saying is that you are not as important as the other things that you have to show up for in your life. You have to show up for you. That's what this is all about. Because guess what? If you do not show up for you, then you ain't gonna have no you to go to a job. You won't have, I mean, like, you might not be alive. There are more people in this country who have died of stress-related diseases than you could even imagine because we are a stressed out nation. It's the truth. We just stressed out, right? So there's more people, more people are dying from stress. And I see it every single day when I'm talking to these leaders and they won't even step back because they feel the pressure of the job, right? And now listen, I get it. We all got to work. We do. We all have to work and I understand that. But my hope is that as employers, right? As employers can begin to see that health and self-care and mental health is something so integral to the production of your organization. Period. Like the health of your employees is one of the most integral parts to them being productive, which then turns around and affects your bottom line, right? But if everybody's out sick because of stress and burnout and all of those things, how are we supposed to have the productivity and hit the organizational goals that we need to hit if everybody is out sick? Right. I started reading some articles and I was talking to my husband about this and he's read some articles and stuff like that about unlimited PTO. I believe in it. I believe in it. And to be honest with you, studies have shown that companies that have unlimited PTO are more productive. Their employees are even more productive. And I know a lot of organizations be like, well, people are going to take advantage of it. Nah, no, the majority of people won't take advantage. Will you have some people who want to take advantage of something like that? Probably, because you always got a few. You always got a few somewhere, right? But for the most part, people are even more productive and take less time off when they actually have unlimited PTO. So at my organization, we have unlimited PTO because I truly believe that our employees will benefit from that kind of benefit in their life, especially when you're not jocking. Oh, well, you know what? You only got 2 sick days left. So that means you can only be sick 2 more days or else you're going to be penalized. Come on. Like, what kind of society are we living in? Last I checked, we're in the 21st century. We have to evolve. Our organizations need to evolve, right? You only get, I just saw a post. Somebody said they only get 3.2 accrued hours per pay period for vacation. Mind blowing. I can remember being on vacation. Me and my husband was on vacation. I think we were in the Dominican Republic. This was, of course, pre-pandemic, but we about to go on a vacation, y'all. So, because I can't take it no more. But we were on a vacation pre-pandemic, and I was in the ocean, and I was just floating around and just enjoying life. And I had I think we were going to be there for 4 days, not even a whole week, just 4 days we were going to be there. And there was this other couple that was in the ocean as well, floating around. And the wife asked me, she said, how long are you here for? And I said, we were here for 4 days. We leave tomorrow. And I said, how long are you guys here for? Now, mind you, we were at an all-inclusive resort. And she's like, oh, I think we're here for like 2 weeks. And we might extend another week. And I'm like, oh, they were from France. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. She was like, it always amazes me, you Americans, y'all don't get enough time off. And I'm like, this is a woman from another country telling me how much we don't get time off and saying that they get much, much more time off to take care of themselves. It was amazing. I remember that to this day, right? Because I'm like, wow, 2 weeks off. And I wasn't, I think I was working at the time. And so I was accruing hours and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought about it. I'm like, wow, 2 weeks, off. And this is not all the time she would get off during the year, but 2 weeks off at an all inclusive resort. How would my life be if I could do that? And that sparked me on this journey of like really figuring out what true self care is as a leader, as an entrepreneur. And I'm seeing that it's needed, but it's not being put at the forefront, neither by employees nor employers. So if this is you, I hope this message is resonating with you. And I want to just share a couple of steps and strategies that I have been using for myself. And let me just say, I'm not a perfect case always, right? I work very, 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 very hard. But I'm a work in progress and I understand this. And so my goal is always to practice what I preach. And so all of these are things, all these 5 things that I'm going to share with you are things that I work on daily. Yes, 2 weeks off, Gail. Yes. Um, Tawan says every leader should understand people are their greatest commodity. Yes, Tawan. Like, it's the truth. There will be no company without you. Period. There's no company without you. And so the more you realize that, wink, wink, right? The better off you gonna be. And so I want to share with you these 5 things that I have personally began to embed in my life. And I tell all of the executive leaders that I coach, and all of my coaches tell their leaders, because these are super, super important. And you might argue with me on some of them. It's good. I love a good debate. But I think they're non-debatable, because what I'm trying to do is help you change and save your life from a life of stress and burnout, which ultimately sometimes result in heart attack and stroke and all those things, which is what we don't want. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is rise early. Ooh. Okay, so I just had this conversation with a couple of my coaches just yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I was saying that I get up early every single morning. Now, I know my girl Gail, who is on this live, she gets up at, I think, 4 o'clock every single morning. Now, okay, 4 is early, but it works for her, right? It works for her. And I think getting up early is it's amazing. So here's the debate that we had. Some people, you know, some people need to get up early because of their rhythmic cadence, right? That helps them out. And then some people can be night owls, right? Night owls, because their cadence is such that they're more productive at night, right? So that's the debate that we were having. So I was telling them that I'm essentially a night owl. Like, I can stay up late and do work and be productive, right? I can stay up late. When I was getting my PhD, I was pulling all-nighters. I thought my all-nighter days was over, baby, in terms of in terms of like school. But here I was staying up all night, and I could literally, we had this bench in our dining room table. I'd literally sit and sleep on that bench. My family would go upstairs and they'd go to sleep, and then they'd come down in the morning time, and I'm still sitting there writing. I can do it. I can do it. Do I feel the best doing it? Not exactly. So, but I can do it. So here I gave myself a challenge. I said, and this was a while ago, I said, I want to see how I feel getting up early. So one of the books that I read was called The Miracle Morning, right? The Miracle Morning tells you how to get up early and start your day off with some prayer, meditation, writing in your journal, all of those things, right? That's the Miracle Morning. And it's a beautiful book. So I started getting up early. I started changing me going to bed earlier and getting up early. And let me tell you, my life literally changed. Now, you're talking to a person who is, yes, a night owl, but the way I felt getting up early in the morning, especially before my kids got up, and getting that time just to myself, and knowing that the world wasn't open. Oh my God, it was such a huge difference, because sometimes I used to have the fear of, I used to have FOMO, the fear of missing out. So when I stay up late, I feel like I'm missing out on a whole bunch of stuff, right? I'm missing out on TV shows. If I'm doing work, right? I'm missing out on TV shows. I'm missing out on talking to my girlfriends on the phone, or I'm missing out on social media. I feel like I'm missing out. But when I changed, right, to getting up in the morning, I didn't feel like I was missing out, because guess what? The whole world was asleep, and I had the advantage on them. I was more productive in from that 5 a.m. to like that 10 o'clock block than most people are in their entire week. I could just knock things off the list, right? Because I was able to center myself by getting up in the morning. And so SBS says, yeah, that's early. Yes, it is. That's early. So 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is early. But I've recently started reading another book. It's called The 5 a.m. Club. 5 a.m. is more doable to me, right? 5 a.m. is way more doable to me. And so getting up at 5 a.m., my kids are still asleep. I can read my book. I can pray. I can listen to my gospel music. I can write in my journal. And I can even get some work done getting up at 5 a.m. because my kids normally are getting up now around 6:30ish. So I have a little time to do some things when I'm getting up at 5 a.m. recently. So what I'm doing is I got away from the getting up early, and now I'm on my way back to it. And so let me just tell you how I'm doing it. I'm doing it gradually, right? So I've been recently getting up at 5:45, and I still have time to get my stuff done, but I want more time. So next week, if some of y'all want to join me, I'm gonna start getting up at 5:30, right? And and then I'm gonna work my way up to 5 a.m. so that it becomes a habit of mine. But I want to give you this challenge, because even if you think you're a night owl, you will literally be able to, I think you're going to see the benefits of it. So when you get up, you want to meditate, you want to pray, you want to journal, you might want to work out, but get up early, rise early. We're going to go to the beach soon. And one of the things I'm super excited about doing while I go to the beach, I ain't told my husband this, but I want to see the sunrise. Like, I don't remember if I've ever seen, I don't remember the last time I seen the sunrise. And then I don't remember if I've ever seen the sunrise. How many of you have seen the sunrise? I mean, like, I've not even really thought about that, but I don't know if I've ever really sat and saw and watched the sun rise. And that's something that I want to do. So when I go to the beach, I'm going to make sure that at least one of them days I get up early enough to watch the sunrise. It's just an experience that I want to have. And maybe it's something that you want to have too. So get up, pray, meditate, get the book, The 5 a.m. Club or The Miracle Morning. I promise you it'll change your life. Yeah. So, well, Gail, of course, you get to see the sunrise waking up at 4 a.m. every day. I love it. I absolutely love it because I know it has changed your life, and you've done it. You've done this for years, and I'm taking after you. So that's number one. Number two is move your body, right? I toyed with saying working out, right? I don't have a problem with working out, but I know a lot of people don't like it, period. And I get it. I understand, right? Working out, working out is not something that everybody's going to enjoy. Do I think it's something that everybody should do? Yep. But something everybody can do is move your body. You got to. You got to. You can't, you know, every single day, you can't just be stationary, right? Especially if you're working from home right now. If you're working virtually from home, you got to get up and move your body. That can be you just stretching, right? You can stretch in your chair, you can stretch standing up, right? You can just stretch, right? Just stretch your body. You can go on a walk, right? My husband every day. I know this is probably what he's doing. He goes to walk the dog, and some days I'm like, "Oh, I'll walk her." He'll like, "Oh, I'm already doing it." It's so he can get outside to get some fresh air and move his body, right? He moves his body. And so I think it's so important that we really understand this, whether it's going for a walk, is running, is doing something. Like I have the Peloton, so I love Peloton. Go Peloton. If you're on Peloton, Kiki, do you love me is my leaderboard name. Hello. Um, but I love getting up really early, working out before I get my day started. I actually have a thing, right? Like I've made working out in my life a non-negotiable. And what do I mean by that? I don't think about it. I don't negotiate with Kiki Ramsey about working out. It is something I do Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays are a bonus, and I don't always do Saturdays and Sundays, right? Because I think your body needs rest. But literally, you got to get up and you got to do something, whether it go for a walk, whether it's stretch or something like that. It'll change your entire life as a leader so that you can have the self-care that you need, right? And so the next thing I wanted to share with you is take a real lunch break. I remember when I gave a whole bunch of my leaders this challenge, which was to take a real lunch break. Um, and I was so excited that they took me up on the challenge because, of course, taking a real lunch break is sometimes super, super hard for some people, right? Taking a lunch break is hard. But I tell people to take a lunch break throughout the day because getting up, taking a lunch break will break up your day. It also give you time to replenish your body, right? And we all need that replenishment. So, what this looks like is you getting up out of your chair, out of your beautiful chair, wherever it's at, wherever it's stationed at, in front of your desk, the table, whatever. If you at the table, move to the other side of the table. Do something, but have your meal away from your computer. And I'll tell you, I struggle with this sometimes as well because I got so many things to do, and of course, so little time to do it in. But at the end of the day, this is one that I challenge everybody to do. And I want to know if you're going to actually take on this challenges with me, right? So you're going to take a lunch break. It can be 30 minutes, it can be an hour. Like on my schedule, I block off 12 noon every day. Like there's literally a block on my schedule where I block off 12 noon every single day, period. You can't, if you were to go to any of my calendars, you would see 12 noon for 1 hour is blocked off every single day. I ain't got no calls. I don't do none of that. That's my time for me to get up and take a break, to go outside, take a walk, to do whatever I want to do during that lunch break. It's important, y'all. It's important. I'm trying to teach you how to give that self-care and take your life back. This is how you do it. Number 4 is take one day off each month. I know y'all might be like, "Oh, Kiki, you are literally now you okay." Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I was working with a leader yesterday, and she is in a very senior leadership position role, and she's such a beautiful, beautiful soul. But she has so many meetings, and she has so much responsibility that she does not take time off, right? And she does not take time off. And so I challenged her to open up her calendar right there. Gil, yes, every Friday. Yes, I love it. I challenged her to open up her calendar right then, right? Because we got it on our phones, and for her to choose a day that she was going to take off. I challenged her to do it right during our meeting. And it literally took about, I'll say, 5 to 7 minutes for her to find a day, right, to take off. Because it was like, oh, this day I can't. Okay, this day I can take off. Oh no, I can't. I got that meeting on this day. This day I can take off. Oh no, I got this meeting on that day. And I just sat there, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna take off this day because I got a doctor's appointment. No, that don't count. That don't count. This is a true, some people call it mental health day, yourself day, self-care day, whatever you want to call it, right? I call it the Dr. Kiki day, that I get to do what I want to do. I told her, I said, no, the vision of this day is to literally take off, still get your moving in, right? Because that's super important. But you can watch TV, you can, be on social media, you can take a nap, whatever, watch a movie, go to the movies, go to the spa, do something on that day that is going to replenish your mental and your physical. Going to the doctor ain't it, right? Taking a day off that you already got an appointment on don't count. You have got to literally take the day off where there's nothing on your calendar but you. Woo! Wait, let me say that again. There's nothing on your calendar but you. That's it. I mean, you might even want to go to lunch with girlfriends. I love doing that on my days off, to go to lunch with girlfriends. I honestly try to take, Fridays off, even though I pretty much work half of the day, but I normally will take a half of the day, go to lunch, and do anything else that I need to do after that. Once I get off my live streams, I'm pretty much off, and I go to lunch and I do what else I need to do for the rest of the day. So that's, the rest of the day is mine until I have to go get my kids, of course, and that kind of thing. But you got to take a day off at least once a month. That's all I'm asking. I try to do lunch and do every Friday, because I know that I am doing so much during the week, but still practicing these things that I told you. But I have to take that time off to just clear my mind, right? To clear my mind. So one day a week, one day a month is all that I'm asking you to do, because you need it. You need it. And chances are, even if you accrue time, you got the time. I know some of y'all working so much, you are losing time. You losing accrued time, right? Like, who got time for that? That's I think that's crazy that you are working so much that you losing time. You losing. So basically, you saying, I don't need that money. They're paying you this money in the currency of time off, and you're losing it. Okay, I'm just saying, don't make sense to me. And I'm trying. So you might think I'm making light of it, but what I'm trying to do is really show you all that it's not right. Yeah, that you putting yourself on the back burner and not on the forefront. And then my last thing I want to share with you is number 5, plan a vacation. Let me just tell you, I always talk to my leaders about, when is your next vacation coming up? Some of them are super good about it. Some of them not so much. And I had to take out my own self, right? Which was to plan a vacation. So I have 2 coming up. right? I have 2 coming up because I was so much in the trenches with my PhD, and so was my husband with his PhD, that we didn't take a lot of time off. And let me just say this. There's seasons, right? We all go through seasons, and I understand it, right? We just got off a season of ultimate grinding to get PhDs. And now that PhDs are done for both of us, we can now reward ourselves. So we are rewarding ourselves with a amazing week-long trip in the Caribbean at an all-inclusive 5-star resort. And I can't wait to go because we deserve it. Number one, right? We deserve it. But number two, we need it. We got kids. And if any of y'all got kids, toddlers for that matter, right? You know that that can be a lot to be a parent 24/7. Like, you don't get no break from parenting. It's 24/7, right? And so we're going for a whole week. And we're super excited about it. And then for spring break, we're going for another whole week, right? Because we need it. We need it. And the kids, this time we're taking the kids. On the other one, the kids are staying at home. But this one, we're going to take the kids. But it's still going to be awesome, right? And so what I'm saying to you is, as a leader, plan your next vacation so that you'll have something to look forward to, right? You'll have something to look forward to. And all my leaders who have vacations on the books, it allows them to be less stressed sometimes when they know they got something amazing coming up, right? They know they have something amazing coming up on the horizon, which is a vacation. So I'm super excited about the vacations that we're going to be taking because it's on the horizon and I have something to look forward to. We all need something to look forward to, right? You need something to look forward to. Absolutely, you do. And so these are the 5 things that have helped me manage being the CEO of an organization. And sorry about that. These are 5 things that have allowed me to manage being a CEO of this organization and even a leader to a lot of leaders. And so what I'm hoping for you is that you can take these 5 things: rising early, moving your body, taking a real lunch every single day, taking a day off each month, and planning a vacation very seriously so that you can reclaim your day. As always, I'm Dr. Kiki Ramsey. Follow me, like, share this message if it is something that resonated with you and you think it's something that will resonate with somebody else. Somebody needs to hear that they are important and that they need to place their self-care above all else. And so I'm super excited to be with you as well. You can always visit me at kikiramsey.com and pcaddy.com as well. That's ppcadi.com. I'll answer your questions in the chat after our call. And I'm just super excited to be with you.